Prop 203 authorizes qualifying patients with debilitating medical conditions to obtain an allowable amount of marijuana to treat and alleviate medical conditions. It establishes a regulatory scheme governed by the Arizona Department of Health Services for establishing and licensing medical marijuana dispensaries and personnel. We have a proponent in the audience, I believe. I think we have an opponent too. Come on down.
My name is Andrew Myers, and I'm the campaign manager for Proposition 203, the Arizona Medical Marijuana Act. Prop 203 is about protecting certain seriously and terminally ill patients with a very narrow and specific set of medical conditions from arrest and prosecution. Right now, there are already thousands of suffering Arizonans who are using marijuana with their doctor's recommendation, and these patients face a terrible choice. They must either continue to suffer the severe and debilitating symptoms from a serious or even terminal disease, or they have to go to the criminal market, putting themselves, and in many cases their family members, at risk for felony prosecution. Arizona is unique in that possession of any amount of marijuana can be prosecuted as a felony. And the risks don't stop with arrest. On the streets, patients deal with criminals to acquire an unknown product, which may contain molds or pesticides or be laced with other drugs. And unfortunately in Arizona, much of the marijuana supplied to the criminal market comes from Mexican drug cartels. So under current law, these patients are unwittingly lining the pockets of some of the world's worst criminals. My opponent is going to try to scare the bejesus out of you using outdated reefer madness style propaganda. She'll try her best to convince you that marijuana is not medicine, and that all we're trying to do is make it easier for kids to use drugs. Nothing could be farther from the truth. The reality is that our proposal is the most restrictive and well-regulated medical marijuana proposal ever put forward. We've learned from other states' mistakes. For some patients, marijuana is not only good medicine, it's the best medicine. There have been literally dozens of peer-reviewed university studies in the last 10 years regarding the safety and efficacy of medical marijuana. Specifically, neuropathy, pain from nerve damage, is a particularly insidious type of pain that is exceptionally difficult to treat with traditional pain management methods. Two studies in 2007 and 2008 conducted by the University of California in San Francisco found that most neuropathy patients who added marijuana to their pain regimen were able to reduce their dependence on narcotic painkillers like OxyContin by 2/3 or more. That is a fantastic improvement in quality of life, not to mention life expectancy for those patients. Patients should not be prosecuted for following a doctor's advice. A vote for Prop 203 is a vote for patients' rights. Thank you.
They are indeed calling us out, so we have the opponent to come up and quick give your, and we may be packing up a little behind you, but you got your 2 minutes.
First of all, I'd just like to say that I have a real issue with, people who are in pain can be grouchy, but think about all people who are in pain, now they're going to be stoned and up there driving around. I would encourage you to read this proposition very, very carefully. Look at, when you say it's very tight, it's not. I'm here actually in place of Barbara LaWall, so I'm going to read what was given to me to read, and I'm going to add a couple of my own comments. The editorial board of the Arizona Republic recently published its recommendation to vote no. As they said, it is a smokescreen. I will add in, if this is about medical marijuana, as you say, the 2% of the people who really need it for medical purposes, then why aren't we going to the FDA and getting this as a drug and writing prescriptions and selling it out of Walgreens? Okay? It doesn't need to be sold out of dispensaries that look like the check cashing centers that we have. If you look at Venice Beach, in 2 weeks from now, get the Time magazine and read about what's going on. They wish they hadn't let the genie out of the bottle. Okay? I have friends who are dying from cancer. They have said, I am not going to smoke marijuana. I don't believe in it. I've worked in addictions all my life. I've seen the devastation. Why? Why do you have to smoke marijuana? Okay, if you need to smoke marijuana for medical reasons, let's get it on the ballot as something to do with medicine. This is not where it's at. This is about heading towards legalizing marijuana. If you think about the cost to the taxpayers dealing with an employee comes in, they're stoned. You can't do anything about it. You have kids on probation that turn up dirty. You can't do anything about it because now they've got a card or they're riding with somebody in a car breathing secondhand smoke. It is a step in the direction of legalizing marijuana. Let's put this ballot where it's at. It is not about medicals. It is about legalizing marijuana. Please read it carefully.
Thank you.
I have to address
They're going to throw us
out.
out.
I have to address it.
everyone gets a minute, we're going to talk. Everyone gets a minute, and we're going to pack up at the same time. Please go.
I am a surviving cancer patient. How dare you? How dare you try to deprive me of my choice of medicine? You can have all the pharmaceuticals you want, and they all have side effects. Marijuana does not. How dare you imply that we can't exercise our freedom of choice of what we need to take to stay well and healthy?
Okay, well, again, I'm going to ask you very nicely, please don't delve into personalities, and just, you got a minute.
I'm telling you what, I just got my stitches removed today. It's a recurrence. I was given pharmaceutical drugs because I'm on the poor people's insurance. So I got some free tablets that were knockoffs for my pain because this happened almost 3 weeks ago. It was a recurrence. The scar goes from here to here. I decided that the 2 plants I had in my backyard were ready to go. And I sat there, and the pharmaceuticals, anybody wants to buy them from me can. They're on the market. I could sell them.
No, you can't.
My New Mexico said, oh, you can sell those. No, that you can have those. You can go and buy them from me. And I could not go and buy marijuana. I had to hide. Right now I'm risking illegal something, maybe, but the plan is not.
So let's make it medical.
It is.
It's called the Arizona Medical Marijuana Act.
It's always been that way.
Why aren't we going through the FDA? Why are we...
Guys, thank you. They're asking us to leave. We had a lively discussion. Thank you for coming. Please go to the ballot.
You did great.
Be nice to each other.
Marijuana disease is a doctor.
Yes.
Been there, done that.
Liar.
She's a liar. She's a stoner.
She said it's a stoner issue. What a jerk.
Smugness, arrogance.